We've shown you land, we've taken you to the desert, and to the water preserves. On today's episode, it's going to be very special. It's the first time that we're going to take you to the sea and show you the magic of the creatures that live in this beautiful water. Stay with us for this episode. It's going to be special.
Imagine this island between heaven and earth. Imagine magic. It is nowhere, and yet, if you were on it, it could be a world in itself, the center of yours. It is where everything comes together. This island is real. It is called Garrow. I am on it. I will tell you its story.
After a bumpy ride, we actually made it safe and sound on Garrow, a very far away island from Kuwait City compared to the other islands. I'm holding a type of a natural, I'm gonna guess it's a shell that belongs to some kind of sea life creature. However, from here, we're going to go and see Nancy. As I promised you, we're going to talk about turtles, how they mate, and we are in a very special time where actually the eggs are going to start to hatch. It's very, very exciting, and Nancy and I are going to actually see if we can discover this as we go. Do stay with me so that we can see if we're going to be lucky enough to see one of these new baby turtles. Hello, Nancy.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
So, is this a dead turtle? Obviously.
This is a dead turtle. This is a dead baby turtle, either because it came out of the nest in the daytime, so because of the heat it got baked, or because it was too weak to go anywhere. It was one of the latecomers, and as a result he died of fatigue.
Okay, so there's a lot of them probably, I heard, that don't make it to the shore.
Not a lot, but some don't.
Some don't because they get probably eaten by other animals, is that true? Or they can't?
This is rare in the nighttime.
Okay.
In the nighttime, those that are strong make it to the water usually.
Okay.
But there are some that are extremely weak. This is a very weak animal.
Of course, especially at this, stage of life.
Yes, exactly.
Garrow receives its name from the large amounts of petroleum sediments in the area, known as Gar in Arabic. It is the smallest of the 9 islands and also the furthest island from the Kuwaiti mainland, located 37.5 kilometers away from the mainland. Garrow is a circular shaped island, 200 meters at its widest, surrounded by a coral reef with open sea all around it. It rises less than a meter above the water and barely visible into the sea. It is all sand. There is not a single plant on this island, or a patch of soil, or a drop of water. It takes a human being only 10 minutes to circle the whole island. It is more than 50 Celsius in the summer and can reach 0 degrees in the winter.
Can we just take a little walk and
Can I offer you a ring?
Oh, thank you. I actually found myself another ring.
Oh, you did? It probably doesn't fit, but this will fit.
I was wondering what it is actually, but I will gladly wear this ring.
Oh, it is too small. Oh,
there we go.
it isn't. I'm so
So
glad.
I just saw this animal and I'm sure it's a sea urchin or something like that.
It is.
So yeah.
There are 3 species of sea urchins in Kuwait. Possibly 4, but we're trying to verify about the 4th species.
So it's not just turtles that you're really in, it's everything that has to do with the... You're falling in love with the island and whatever is on it, huh?
Well, we do fall in love, but we're trying to also be professional, because if you let love cloud your judgment, you don't do your work properly.
You become possessive of the place perhaps, no?
You do, and you don't like anybody touching it, and
I
you
know
get
what that feels
aggressive
like.
towards anybody who
I know what that feels like.
so there's a great danger here, but we are fascinated by everything that we find here, because the turtles come here for a reason. The turtles come here because the perimeter of the island is very rich in terms of biodiversity. It's got a coral reef that is 1 kilometer long and about 600 meters wide, 500 meters wide. This coral reef is thriving. It is doing very well. So the turtles have a lot of food here. Hawksbill turtles feed on the reef. They clean the reef. They make sure the reef is healthy.
Wow.
Picking on ill animals, on dead coral, so the coral can regenerate better.
It's amazing how nature circulates to just give you better nature if you let it be.
Most definitely, most definitely. And then the green turtles also eat all sorts of reef creatures, as well as seagrass that we don't have much of around here, but there's enough food on the reef that the green turtle can feed on. So we have looked at the reef in great detail. We have studied its life. We have made a list of all the fish that we ourselves have witnessed. We have registered a pod of dolphins that seems to be resident and circling around here.
Dolphins as well?
Bottlenose dolphins. There's a family here that circles around the island every now and again. At first we saw 4. Last time when we were here, actually no, that was in April, sorry. Seems like yesterday, but it was in April. We counted 20.
Amazing.
Including 2 new babies.
Amazing.
So they too are thriving.
I asked her a few questions, and she told me that most of all, she believes that environmental research and conservation shouldn't be work for volunteers and nature lovers only. It needs professionals, passionate workers who work with a strict schedule and military discipline. And as a result of her research, she has discovered that the turtles of Garrow are suffering from the invasive presence of humans on the beaches and surrounding marine areas. She says, "Is it time to protect it and control the numbers of people on it in the most fragile season of reproduction of these ancient marines?" We need this earth to exist. So when it is scientifically proven that it is dwindling away, why wouldn't we make it our most intense business to safeguard it? Are we humans desiring auto-destruction? And if so, are we really the most intelligent species on the planet?
The reef here has a specific characteristic in comparison to other coral reefs in the Gulf.
Okay.
It is covered in sea urchins.
Okay, which is what I'm holding right now in my hand.
Which is what
I was trying to wonder what it is exactly, but I guessed right.
Yes, it is a sea urchin. You are correct. The science tells us that wherever the reef is invaded by sea urchins,
Okay.
it is a sign of very bad health,
Really?
and the reef is doomed, is
Really?
going to die, because sea urchins feed on live coral. However,
Okay.
in this part of the world, in Al Maradim and in Garu,
Okay.
this has been the situation for decades.
So
But the reef does live with the sea urchins, and it doesn't die. And
That's
not
funny.
only it doesn't die, it hosts over 200 species of fish. It hosts coral reef fish nurseries. It supports 2 species of sea turtles and multiple species of mollusks. It is the paradise of mating of the cuttlefish. You can see
Cuttlefish.
fantastic cuttlefish dances in the month of May.
I've noticed as well. I saw a species of fish that were very bright and beautiful. I didn't know what type they are.
Mostly reef fish are very bright
because
and
the water is so clear and
yeah, it's an aquarium.
and pollution free.
Sea turtles have inhabited our planet Oceania for over 150 million years. They're so ancient, they've actually watched the evolution and extinction of dinosaurs. Well adaptive to life in the marine world, their streamlined bodies and flip motion limbs make them excellent swimmers, able to easily navigate the world's oceans. Some sea turtles have been known to swim through the water at speeds up to 57 kilometers per hour. Only 2 inches in size when born, adult green turtles can grow to over 1 meter in length and weigh over 159 kilograms. Many will live long enough to celebrate their 100th birthday. Green sea turtles continuously feed on healthy, lush seagrass beds. Sea turtles have few enemies and even fewer predators. Only the large sharks are known to hunt them. Human beings are the greatest threat to their survival. The green turtles are now listed as an endangered species. Humans have killed turtles for their shells, skin, and eggs, even using their fat and cartilage as ingredients for turtle soup. More than 10,000 sea turtles each year are trapped, drowned, and killed in illegal fishing nets. Many die from industrial pollution and eating litter left by humans. Plastics are particularly harmful as they remain in the turtle's stomach releasing toxic substances. You can help sea turtles by participating in beach cleanups and by choosing not to purchase goods made by turtle products. Raise awareness by telling your friends and family that turtles are an important part of our environment and should be protected.
Bits of a new kind of information actually for me. Garrow, the type of island we're in right now, was actually the first island to be liberated from the Iraqi forces in 1991 when Kuwait was invaded in 1990. So this island has a bit of history as far as Kuwait liberation.
Something to not miss in Garu is that here oil and water actually mix. Garu proves this statement that oil and water don't mix wrong. Why? Because it has natural seeps.
I see.
While you snorkel here or you open your eyes into the water, you can often see ribbons of black smoke coming through, seeping through the turquoise waters.
Wow.
And this is oil.
Isn't that like a perhaps a reason why you know, like you said, you know, water and oil doesn't mix, but isn't that a reason why this place is a little different, because these two things are mixing, and that's why we see sea urchins and coral reefs living side by side? Would that be, I mean, would that be a something to kind of study because it's basically a little different than other places? I don't know about a lot of other coral reefs that have oil together with them.
Of course, this is a valid idea. It has not been studied yet what the correlation of these two is being, although the Kuwait Institute of Scientific Research has actually carried out a lot of studies regarding the chemical characteristics of the area. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what the science behind it is. What I know, though, is that when you have a natural oil spill, quote unquote, it dissolves in 2 hours.
What's a natural oil spill?
These seeping
that's the natural
oils can create a huge black, yucky, mucky film on the turquoise waters. When you see it for the first time, you think it's a huge oil spill and it's the end of the world. It sticks onto your hair if you happen to be in the water, and it's very difficult to come off. But then you see that the creatures actually don't mind. Because the fish don't mind, they're used to it. Because it's
been a part of the nature for thousands of years. It's really different than having a you know, oil ship.
Of course.
You know,
that is destruction.
Accidentally.
This is cohabitation. It's symbiosis. Oil and water do mix. We have witnessed it, and in the end of the day, when it goes, you see no track, no trace of pollution behind you.
Perhaps the most valuable thing I have learned from Nancy is that without turtles, we lose the reef, as they clean and groom it so it can grow free of diseases and natural litter. Without the reef, which she calls the rainforest of the sea, we will progressively lose most of the marine life. And as we were walking, Nancy told me that it is never too late. Now is the right time to protect the turtles, because they are the umbrella of protection for all reef marine around the world.
Nancy, there's a lot of questions I'd love to ask you, but there's something that I really want to know. I mean, you're from Greece and you're all the way in Kuwait right now. I'd love to hear your story on what is it that made you love turtles so much to bring you to a deserted island such as this one?
I'll make it short. Environment has no borders.
Okay.
The first inkling that I had about turtles was in my home country when I was 16, and completely by chance I witnessed a sea turtle nesting on a beach on Zakynthos Island in my native country, Greece.
Okay.
While it nested, it moaned and it cried, and this marked my life. This is an experience that completely marked my life.
A fraction of a second.
A fraction of a second when it started, and then a few minutes as it lasted.
And then it affected the rest of your life.
It affected the rest of my life. I'm a lawyer in training. I have studied law, but I studied law in order to do environmental law and in order to protect the marine environment using sea turtles as flagship species.
And that's amazing. You always find what you've studied and what you've experienced in life has been, you always mix that into something that you love the most and make the most of it.
Absolutely. This is not a job for me. My lawyer friends are laughing. They're saying, "Where's your office?" And I said,
"Look at it.
This is my office." Who can beat it? It's unbeatable.
There's nothing like working in nature.
No, there isn't. And so for me, life brings us to different geographical areas. But once you are there and you experience nature, you realize that it's all united, all unified.
Of course.
Borders are invented by people. Animals and nature don't know borders. And I choose to be with the animals and nature.
And when you become a part of that, you really don't see it anymore. You become a part of the
You love it.
Animals
like you love your homeland. The planet is our home.
And my show is called Planet because of the very reason that you're talking about. That's exactly what I thought about when I said planet.
We belong to the same world then.
Yes, of course.
Nature has no borders.
Of course.
So this is a place for us.
Towards the end of our trip, I paid Nancy a little visit while we were on the boat. She was alone in the very back, looking back at Garrow as we slowly left it. The sunset was behind us. I saw some sadness in her eyes and started to talk to her. She told me that every time she leaves Garrow, there is a sense of happiness and sadness. She's sad because she has left one of the most valuable pieces of land that she has in her heart. But she is also happy that she feels she has given a very large part of her heart towards that beautiful island. We had an amazing time. It was heart-touching. We felt all the love that we wanted, and we're taking it back to the land to tell people about this great love we all felt. Planet, the love of nature.